Thank you for joining the webinar today. We're going to be talking about planning your jewelry store's Q4 digital marketing strategy. We do these webinars every month, usually the second Thursday of every month, but this month I was evacuated due to the crazy fire here in Northern California, but all is good. Yeah, it was craziness. We can talk about that later. But anyway, we host these for the Edge users. However, everyone's welcome to join. And we're going to be talking about a lot of things related to Q4 marketing since we're approaching that fairly quickly. Understanding the Q4 market, the importance of digital marketing in Q4, some of the core components, content marketing, email marketing strategies, social media, PPC, advertising, e-commerce optimization, integrating your digital marketing channels. We'll talk about planning your Q4 marketing calendar. And then we'll go through a couple case studies and best practices, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. But since it's just me today, you can always type in questions in the Q&A, and I'll if I see them pop up, I'll definitely answer them. And also, is that Pashko? Hello, and we will kind of go through some statistics, but we're all in this industry. I've been in this industry for 17 years, working with GemFind, helping a lot of jewelers over the years. This is our 25th year in business. So we've helped a lot of jewelers with digital marketing, web design, different apps like a diamond search, ring builder, different things like that. Again, we're also partnered with the Edge, so we do a lot of Edge integrations, especially on Shopify lately. Shopify's been a platform that's really helped a lot of jewelers scale their business. Oh, Francis, please email me the presentation, of course. And also, yeah, if you do want a copy of the webinar, the recording, the slides, we can send that after this as well. A couple of us at the JCK show last year. So we're going to talk about understanding the Q4 market. In 2023, holiday retail sales in the U.S. exceeded 1.26 trillion, with online sales accounting for 19% of total retail sales. It's a pretty big jump from previous years. Jewelry sales typically spike in Q4, with November and December accounting for nearly 30% of annual jewelry sales. You pretty much know that in this space. I've talked to jewelers where they do 50 to 80% of their business during the holidays, so it varies. Some of the key sales periods, as we know, Black Friday, over 40% of holiday shoppers start buying gifts before the end of October, though. So that's something to keep in mind is we should, start preparing now, obviously. And one thing we'll talk about here in a minute is, starting your marketing calendar, in October for Q4. And for holiday sales, which we'll talk about here in a minute, and a couple other things. But Cyber Monday in 2023, online sales on Cyber Monday were 11.3 billion. Jewelry is consistently one of the top 5 categories for Christmas gifts, obviously. And in 2023, we saw a 14% increase in online jewelry sales during Q4 compared to the previous year, driven by holiday promotions and gift-giving traditions. So again, super important to capitalize on the Q4 marketing, digital marketing for jewelry stores. One other thing that I always like to kind of talk about is the engagement ring shoppers. We don't want to overlook that. Most engagement ring shoppers are not super last minute. They're kind of planning this. So now is really the time to kind of put that message out there that, like, if you're planning on proposing it during the holidays, because Christmas is, I think, it's the most popular day to propose, followed by December 24th. And New Year's Day, January 4th, is also included in that list, as is December 22nd and February 14th. So 3 of the biggest proposal dates, also New Year's, following shortly after, are the biggest proposal days of the year. So really that push for engagement ring sales should be happening now, and put out that message. Hey, if you want to get engaged or you want to propose during the holiday season, let's start dripping on them and putting that message out there, so they're not doing last minute shopping. So yeah, but yeah, December is the most popular month for wedding proposals globally as well. Um, so importance of digital marketing Q4, over 2 million e-commerce websites are currently operating in the US alone, obviously with thousands specializing in jewelry. During Q4, online competition increases by 30 to 40%, driving up costs for PPC and social media ads. We'll talk about that and kind of how to divvy up your budget a little bit. And then obviously the shift towards online shopping in 2023, e-commerce accounted for 19% of total retail sales during Q4, a significant increase from pre-pandemic levels. Over 60% of jewelry consumers reported using online platforms to research or purchase products during the holiday season. So, you always want to be, dominate your market, both through search engines, also social media, obviously. So we'll talk about kind of how to do that here in just a minute. Importance of standing out digitally during the holiday season. Studies show that websites with high quality visuals and clear USPs or unique selling propositions have a 30% higher conversion rate during Q4. So really important to get that messaging down, and update your website, make it look nice for the holidays. Okay. Someone said chat is disabled from my end. I guess. What is a direct competitor for Shopify? Are there e-com POS systems that are not as expensive as Shopify? Um, I mean, not really point of sale systems, but most of our clients, they usually use Shopify and then use the Edge and integrate the Edge into Shopify. So that's the typical way. But as far as direct competitors of Shopify, I mean, it's BigCommerce, it's WooCommerce, Magento. Shopify is just the easiest, and it typically has the best user experience, conversion rate, all that stuff. The Edge is a jewelry specific point of sale system provider that focuses on brick and mortar jewelry stores. All right. Just answering a couple questions in the QA process or in the QA field here. So feel free to type in any questions if you'd like. I'll answer them when I can. Unique product offerings and limited time promotions are key differentiators in a crowded online marketplace. As we know, like so many different e-commerce brands have come into the space, especially since COVID. There's, R8 and I don't know, Diamond Foundry. There's like all kinds of different. I don't even know the names of many. Vry. There's so many. In addition to Blue Nile, Brilliant Earth, James Allen, and a lot of new ones have come into the space. So it's a really crowded online marketplace. But when you have a brick and mortar jewelry store, you kind of have an edge over them because you do have your location locally. If you can mimic what they're doing, but in your local market, I think you're definitely able to, make sure that you're getting the business there. Let's see here. SEO optimization for Q4, keyword research for holiday related searches, Christmas jewelry gifts, and Black Friday diamond deals saw search volume increases by 35% and 42% respectively during Q4 2023. So it's really important to do keyword research. You could do it locally, or you can do, kind of more global depending on your goals. If it's driving in-store foot traffic or e-commerce, but tools like Google Keyword Planner and SEMrush can help identify high volume, low competition keywords. So I typically recommend when you're establishing your SEO strategy, do the keyword research first before you determine what you're going to do. So like if you look at like a tool like SEMrush, for example, I'll just jump in here real quick. Say I want to look up keywords. So this is a tool called Keyword Magic Tool in this tool called SEMrush. There's other tools you can use. There's one called Uber Suggest by Neil Patel. There's Google Keyword Planner from Google Ads. What I like about Keyword Magic Tool is it shows on through SEMrush is it shows search volume, but it also shows keyword difficulty percentage. So I'm going to say jewelry Chicago, for example, and then I'm going to search for that keyword. You can also, what's neat about SEMrush is it could get pretty detailed data, even if you enter your own domain it'll tell you how difficult it is to get ranked on that specific keyword. But I'm going to just do a broad match search. So jewelry Chicago, it's going to give me a lot of different keywords that have the terms jewelry and Chicago in it. So I could determine what keywords I need to add to my strategy. So once it loads here. So related to these two keywords, jewelry Chicago, jewelry stores Chicago is the #1 most high volume search query related to the Chicago market. So jewelry store Chicago, there's about 1,000 searches per month on average. Keyword difficulty of 40 out of 100. 40 is fairly difficult. Like I would say that what you can do is try to find, like this one, for example, vintage jewelry Chicago. If that's something that's relevant to a jeweler in Chicago, there's 320 searches for that, not as many, but the keyword difficulty is a 12 out of 100. So that means it's very easy to start ranking new pages. And so what, and this would apply to more of a e-commerce focused keyword research as well. You want to find several keywords that you know you're going to get ranked on quickly. Although I would still focus on the competitive keywords. You just need you need to know that it's going to be a lot more difficult to get ranked on those keywords. But when you start doing a little bit more keyword research, like estate jewelry Chicago, it's kind of a variation of vintage jewelry, but there's 210 searches, 12 keyword difficulty percentage. You can find a lot of different low hanging fruit. I don't know why, but all the antique ones actually have decent search volume and low keyword difficulty percentage. So say say I'm a jewelry store that does a lot of vintage antique estate. There's 140 searches here. There's 210 searches here. Vintage jewelry, there's 320 searches here. Then that's like a couple, 700 searches per month approximately that I could potentially get, extra visits to my website. That's quite a bit for a local jewelry store, just from those two keywords alone, or three keywords alone. So you could essentially add 30 keywords and have, a few thousand visits per month. So it's important to establish which keywords make sense for your jewelry store, and then start working on that. So the way that you would work on it is by adding dedicated collections or pages depending on. And one other thing that I'll just mention real quick, I'm going to go back to that search. So there's another thing here that we need to just kind of think about from a strategic perspective. There's something called intent. So there's commercial. That means that user wants to investigate brands or services. Some of them you'll find that say transactional when it's a very specific like product type. Transactional keywords means that that's somebody looking to make a purchase. So something that we need to think about when we're building out or our SEO strategy is like we want for the transactional keywords, it probably makes sense to have um, a a product optimized for that specific keyword. If it's more commercial, then I would say a product collection, or if it's more informational, then a landing page or a blog optimized for that specific keyword. So again, it's important to do that keyword research, understand the intent behind what people are searching for. And that's one of the values of search engine marketing is people are showing intent by what they're typing in. You don't get that through social media marketing. So when somebody's doing research or they're looking for a jewelry store to go buy an engagement ring, then you want to show up for those types of keywords because they're showing buying intent based on what they're typing in. So that's why, again, keyword research really important, and then create your SEO strategy from there. And the way you do it is you want to make sure that every product collection, they have your optimized title tag with that focus keyword. And then you want to add that keyword to your meta description. These are all kind of SEO things in the back end. If you're familiar with doing it on page SEO, you typically are going to take a look at the back end of your website and add these things. So your title tag is usually going to be the title of the page. Your meta description is something you add to your SEO. Your URL, you want to make sure that it also encompasses that focus keyword. You also want to pepper that keyword throughout the page, and then add a hero image with the H1 and descriptive text, and H2 with a rich text block. Optimize your images, adding alt text, and adding internal links, linking other pages to that site or to that page that you're building ranking for. Typically want to have 1,500 to 3,000 words for whatever keyword that you're trying to rank for. Unless it's a product, you don't need that quite that many. But if it's a blog, a landing page, or a collection, you typically want to add a lot of content for the search engines to index. You want to make sure you have efficient load times and optimal mobile experience. And then also, again, the transactional keywords are typically going to be more product specific. So if you have a lot of products that could potentially be sold either online or get inquiries on your products for more in-store types of purchases, you want to follow the same structure, but just make sure that you add something called product schema. It's a code that you add on your site to tell Google that this is a product. Otherwise, depending on what platform you have, if you have a WordPress site, the sites look like just according to Google, it looks like a blog essentially, because WordPress is a blog site, and so it's just going to look like a page. But when you add product schema, it'll say this is a product, this is the price, this is the description, this is the rating of the product, these are reviews of the product. So adding that, and also add products to Google Shopping. Um, that's one of the really kind of missed opportunities I see a lot, is not a lot of jewelers are adding their products to the Google Shopping network. You can do that for free, but then it acts as a vehicle to be able to do Google ads in the best way possible when you can add Google Shopping campaigns to the mix, which we'll talk about here in a minute. Again, there's a lot of information here, so I could send over the slides. You just add your or you can email me, Anthony@gemfind.com, and then I can send over those slides if you like. So holiday themed content, it's really important for content marketing. Blogs and gift guides focused on holiday themes saw a 40% increase in engagement during Q4 2023. Content like top 10 Christmas gifts for her or how to choose the perfect engagement ring for the holidays can drive significant traffic during that time. So if you can, figure out some, and what's important for blog writing, similar to SEO optimization on your site, you can use those same types of keyword research tools like the one I was just showing, and you can look up questions that people type in related to these things and then optimize for that question. And so that's how we typically do blog SEO, is we find common queries that people type in and then optimize it for that exact query. Social media posts with holiday themes can see 30% higher engagement rate compared to non-seasonal content. So you can do a little bit more posting, and you can talk about the holidays a lot more in your content. It's the one time where people will allow for more promotional things during the holidays. Like, if it's other times of year, people get tired of being sold to all the time. So promotions get a little old after a while. But when you're in the mix of the holidays, you're always looking for, or consumers are always looking for, gift ideas. So gift guides are also particularly effective, with some companies reporting up to 50% increase in conversion rates when using gift guides. Some of our clients, they'll do like a Valentine's Day gift guide, a Christmas gift guide, and they'll have a bunch of different product types or product collections, like gifts for her, gifts for him, and all on a holiday gift guide page with featured products on those pages. And I'd be happy to share those with you if you'd like to send me an email, Anthony@gemfind.com. And then also encouraging user-generated content. So, encouraging utilizing your hashtags doing hashtag content tests where, XYZ jeweler, holiday, gift giving, or whatever it is. If everyone uses that hashtag, it's going to give more visibility to your business and ultimately increase your engagement. Hashtag campaigns can lead to a 15% increase in followers and 20% increase in sales typically. Email marketing strategies. So you always want to segment your list by demographics or purchase history, and that could lead to a 14% higher open rate and a 101% higher click-through rate. So it's really important. We talk about this a lot on our webinars about email automation using a tool like Klaviyo. If you're not familiar with it, Klaviyo. It integrates really well with Shopify and also integrates with WordPress and Magento and BigCommerce and other platforms as well. But what it allows for you to do is when somebody's in your list, you can send them out emails based on products that they're actually clicking on, so they're more personalized emails. So that usually gives you a higher open rate and a higher click-through rate because your emails are more personalized. But if you can also do segmentation with your customers that you get, people sign up for your email list when they're purchasing from you. If you can segment your list based on purchase history, you can send them out more personalized emails that way as well. Offering exclusive discounts for your email subscribers during Q4 can grow your list by up to 20%. It's a great time of year to really build up that email list. And if they end up purchasing from you during the holidays, they're 5 times more likely to purchase from you again. So it's really important to get their email address and just nurture them over time, and they'll end up purchasing from you again, most likely. Somebody was asking which email marketing company do you recommend? It's called, I'll type in the answer here, but it's called Klaviyo, Klaviyo, rather than using MailChimp or Constant Contact or whatever. However, MailChimp does have some automations. It's getting better. But Klaviyo is kind of the one that wrote the book on automations, and they're the ones that integrate really well with Shopify. We do a lot of Shopify websites and marketing. So personalized holiday-specific email campaigns include the recipient's name and tailored product recommendations. They have a 29% higher open rate. Data shows that personalized holiday emails can increase conversion rates by up to 10%. And then also emails featuring limited time offers have a 3-time higher conversion rate during Q4. So, offering, hey, these 3 days we've got X, these product types on sale. Doing stuff like that will, definitely help you increase your sales. Include gift guides in your email campaigns, and that could drive directly to specific product pages, increasing sales by up to 20%. So email is like really an important tool to use during the holidays because it's like a direct line to your customers. Social media marketing. 72% of consumers use social media to discover new products during Q4. Video content and platforms like Instagram and TikTok can increase engagement rings, or video content can increase engagement rates by up to 80%. So, we talk about this we've done a lot of webinars about social media, short form video content, doing reels on Instagram, for example. They'll increase your, visibility and followers a lot more than just static posts. And, once you get those followers, then you start investing more in your stories and stuff. But typically, if you don't have an audience to do stories for, then it's just going to fall in deaf ears, or you're going to, only show to, a small group of people. So you really want to add a lot of reels and video content of like, a ring on a finger, somebody opening up a jewelry box with a nice big diamond ring in it, or whatever it is that you sell. Really important to do that short form video content because it's the most engaging content out there, and it's going to be more discoverable content because when you go to the search in Instagram, for example, it's going to show all the reels there. And if you've been shopping for an engagement ring, you're typically going to see more of that type of content, and so there will be a lot more opportunities for discovery of your brand if you have reels on Instagram. Social media ads targeted by demographics and interests can see a 30% higher ROI during Q4 compared to other times of the year. So, we typically don't do a ton of like just excuse me, like demographic targeting, where we're just, you know, delivering ads to people because they don't usually convert super high. You know, what we call cold ads, or, you know, just demographic targeting where, hey, they're in this age group and they have these sort of likes. Usually doesn't, again, provide a super high conversion rate. With search, it converts higher because they're seeking out that information. They're typing in a keyword showing intent. But on social media, um, they're just browsing. And so the odds of them being ready to purchase right at that moment are low. So, but during the holidays, they're looking for things to buy. And so that's probably the only time of year that I recommend just doing like fishing for people that are ready to purchase at that moment, because most are ready to purchase during the holidays. Average CPC on social media platforms increased by 20 to 25% due to during Q4 due to competition. So, you know, very important to increase your budget. And then Instagram, so integrating your social commerce features like Instagram shopping. Shopping posts and Facebook shops can lead to a 30% increase in sales, particularly for impulse purchases. So super important to feed your products into Meta Shop and Google Shopping. Consumers who engage with social commerce features are 60% more likely to complete a purchase. So, you know, again, Shopify makes it really easy to be able to feed your products in. You can do it on other platforms as well. There's usually a plugin like for WordPress or an extension on Magento that allow you to feed in your products into those platforms. So PPC advertising for the holidays. Ad copy featuring holiday themes can increase click-through rates by up to 40%. Using holiday-specific keywords and PPC campaigns can drive a 20% increase in conversion rates. Also, bidding strategies that focus on high value keywords during peak times can optimize your ad spend. During Q4, average CPC can increase by 20 to 30%. So allocating a larger budget is definitely necessary. There's way more competition. So if you're spending an ad budget and you're not increasing it, you're keeping it the same, your ads are going to be like, you know, you're not going to get very much what we call impression share. And so like you're going to be wasting money. So it's really important to increase your budget if you're doing, you know, paid ads. Also utilize Google Shopping campaigns in order to show products to in-market audiences. So, you know, you can deliver product ads to people that are actively shopping for similar types of merchandise within your radius that you select. So really important to add Google Shopping campaigns in the mix. And it's one of the underutilized types of campaigns by jewelry stores, but you do have to have the budget for it. So I actually have some budget recommendations that I'll share here in a minute. Um, and also set up the MetaShop product feed, just like the shopping feed. We mentioned that in the previous slide, but now that opens up the door for doing what you call marketing automation. You want to have dynamic ads that when somebody clicks on a product, say they found you from a search, and they click on your product, they'll keep seeing those products show up both on Google through the Google Shopping retargeting, and then the meta dynamic ads. So they'll keep getting reminded to go back to your website, because most people don't purchase when they first discover your products. They're going to purchase the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth time. So you want to keep showing those products to them. And then you can create what we call lookalike audiences on Meta. And that's probably one of the more effective ways to do targeting, because you're finding people with similar buying and browsing patterns. So that way, like you're finding people that are actively shopping for jewelry or similar types of merchandise. And that's going to be the best way to utilize your ad spend during the holidays. If the budget is on the smaller side and you can't compete on search or shopping, you really want to just utilize Performance Max local campaigns, it's called. So we'll show some examples of those budgets here in just a minute. Monitoring and adjusting campaigns in real time. Obviously, you always want to monitor your PPC campaigns like daily. And although you typically don't want to change it that often, you want to change like probably weekly, as far as, because otherwise your campaigns never learn if you change them daily. So you want to kind of let the algorithm, you know, the AI kind of optimize for the conversions. And then if they need to be adjusted after, you know, a week or 10 days, then that's when you want to do it. Tools like Google Ads and Facebook Ads Manager provide analytics that can be used to optimize campaigns on the fly as well. So these are some of the examples of like what kind of campaigns to run for budgets. It's a little blurry for some reason, but for $2,500 or less for your budget, you typically want to focus more on a PMax campaign. So that means Performance Max. It's a Google ad type of campaign with store visits or driving directions being the main goal. Store visits are the best way to track your conversions, but you have to hit a certain threshold of ad budget before you can track that. What that does is when somebody engages with an ad and then they walk into your store, Google tracks that based on um, their cookies in their browsers and stuff like that. So or driving directions, that's when they click on the directions on the Google My Business profile. And you can also add form fills and phone calls on your website. But with Performance Max, what it does is it basically optimizes for conversions on multiple different platforms. So it's usually going to be on the Google Map, it's going to be on display, it will be on YouTube, and then also on Google Search. When you're doing local campaigns, most of them are probably going to go to the map because that's where you're going to get the most conversions. And then a couple questions that I'll answer. Francis asked, Klaviyo, I heard it's limited when you send content with video. Is it good for website based but not direct email? You can use it for direct email, but yeah, I mean, it does support video, so I'm not really sure what Francis, what issue you're running into. So, but you can always reach out to me. And then Adam asked, what if there's no physical store? So if there's no physical store, you typically want to run. You could still run Performance Max as a type of Google ad campaign. So Google Ads has Google Search, Google Shopping, it has Google Map ads. But in the last what is it, like year and a half or so, they've created this new type of campaign which they call Performance Max, which again, it's their way of basically making sure advertisers are using all of their ad types or inventory out there, which again, YouTube was kind of underutilized. So they wanted to show ads on YouTube, display, search, map, and then you can also add shopping into it. But we typically don't recommend shopping when you're spending less than $2,500. So when you increase your budget to 2,500, we will then fully fund the PMax campaign, and then it will also have a more of a presence on the maps. And then we add the local search campaign for other search terms like jewelry store near me, and then jewelry store surrounding cities as well. And then when you increase it to about 3,500 to about 5,000, we're going to add jewelry type campaigns targeting more expensive keywords like engagement rings, wedding bands, lab grown diamond jewelry, and then jewelry service campaigns, and then meta product retargeting as well. So that's when you start being able to do kind of more of the product type of ads, is when in dynamic retargeting is when you have a budget here. This is, in our experience, the best way to spend a budget. And again, if you're spending less than 2,500, which a lot of jewelers do, and that's totally fine. Like, it all depends on the size of the market. In a market like Houston, Dallas, Chicago, New York, you can't really get away with spending less than 3 to 5 grand a month, because that's otherwise, again, you're just kind of having no search impression share, and you're kind of wasting budget because you're just not competing. But we have a lot of clients, even in smaller markets, spending a bigger amount because they want to increase their e-commerce sales as well. So when you have a budget of 5 grand or more, then you can start adding e-commerce shopping ads promoting online sales. So that's when you start adding in your Google shopping campaigns and your dynamic retargeting on Google, and your meta product retargeting as well. And then when you start adding more budget, then you're able to add just more campaigns, more search campaigns, and you're able to kind of spread out your budget a little bit more and have more opportunities to add more conversions in the mix. So a couple other things, e-commerce optimization. Ensuring your website is mobile responsive and fast. 79% of smartphone users made a purchase online using their mobile device. I do it all the time. Second, a 1 second delay in page load time can result in a 7% reduction in conversions. So it's really important to emphasize the importance of speed of your website. It's also enhancing the user experience for easy navigation and checkout. Simplified checkout process can reduce a bit cart abandonment rates by 20%. Again, I talk about Shopify a lot, mainly because it's already built in with a lot of these features. Like you can do these things on all other platforms, but you kind of have to do it more manually, and you have to kind of try to, like, if you're using WordPress, for example, it's pretty like WordPress is not an e-commerce platform, so you have to add on a plugin, WooCommerce, and you have to code in or add other plugins to make the checkout process more streamlined. Shopify has a more streamlined checkout process. It removes the header and footer, so it's a no distraction checkout, and it also has like all the things that you want, like online financing and installments, all kind of built in. Um, Also, sites with clear navigation and search functionality saw a 15% increase in conversions during Q4 2023. So definitely super important. And also cart abandonment recovery strategies, super important. Again, Klaviyo or even Shopify has abandoned carts built in, but Klaviyo is a great way to be able to, add people to your email list and then remind them to finish their checkout process. But it usually has a high open rate and a conversion rate of 21%. And then you can also offer discounts or free shipping and abandoned recovery emails too. And that'll increase your conversion rate even more by offering some incentives for the people that added something in their cart, didn't finish the checkout process. You want to send them out some emails. So integrating your digital marketing channels. So we're going to talk about messaging. So brands with consistent messaging across all channels saw a 23% increase in revenue compared to those with inconsistent messaging. So it's really important to have a cohesive message across all channels, across your email, your social media, your website, where everything just seems seamless. And so you usually get that when you have a planned out strategy, when you have your marketing calendar planned out. Hey, we're going to be promoting, this week, we're going to be promoting this in 2 weeks, and then everything just gets updated at the same time. So the consistency in tone, visuals, and message helps reinforce brand identity and trust. Also, adding cross promotions, like that can lead up to 10 to 15% in audience reach. So adding, email signups on social media, or promoting, your website on your social media, different things like that. Using analytics to understand customer behavior across channels allows for more personalized and effective marketing. And then companies using data-driven marketing strategies reported 20% increase in ROI. So it's really important to always look at that data and utilize that data to make better decisions. So like click-through rate, conversion rate, customer acquisition costs, also customer lifetime value. A lot of times that's overlooked. You always want to determine, okay, what do you want to pay to get a customer, and how much is that customer worth? Because typically someone that buys an engagement ring, they're going to buy the wedding ring from you as well, and then potentially anniversary, birthday gifts, all those things. A lot of times the lifetime value could be 50 to 100 grand for one client, or say 30 grand, bare minimum. That's quite a bit. So like, what are you willing to pay to get a customer? And that's an important question to ask to determine your digital marketing, budgets and stuff like that. Planning your Q4 digital marketing calendar. These are just some examples. And again, I can share these slides with you after. But for example, week 1, October 1st through 7th. So when you plan it out like this, again, that way you can prepare all of your creatives in advance. You're gonna prepare your email template. You're gonna prepare your social media ads, and social media posts, and your website banners, landing pages that might need to be created. So, week 1 of October, finalize your Q4 marketing strategy, confirm promotions, special collections, and content plans. Email campaign, fall into jewelry, promote autumn inspired pieces. Um, and then start teasing holiday collections and special offers. That's week one. Because again, a lot of people, or 40% of consumers start their holiday shopping in October. So it's important to really start dripping on people during that time with kind of holiday messaging. Um, Week two, blog post, top 5 jewelry trends for the holiday season. Focus on trending pieces in your store. Make sure to optimize your SEO for product pages for holiday keywords like holiday jewelry gifts, Christmas earrings. So it's important to create collections and also create landing pages for your holiday gift guides, and start optimizing for the keywords that make sense after you do your keyword research. Social media campaign, launch a countdown to the holiday season. Week 3 of October, get your Google Ads, targeted Google Ads for the holiday related keywords. Um, Email campaigns, jewelry care tips for the holiday, helpful tips to keep jewelry sparkling through the season. Social media, launch a giveaway or contest to build engagement. You want to try to really build up that engagement and build up the following, prior to getting into the holiday season. So you have a kind of more engaged audience before you really get into, November, December. Um, Week 4, Halloween promotions, potentially. So again, we're not going to go through everything here, but if you'd like to get a copy of this, just email me, Anthony@gemfind.com. I'll put my email up on the screen here shortly. But a lot of different ideas. This is the way that, if we're helping a jeweler with more advanced marketing with their email strategy, social media, a lot of times will help plan out their calendar. So really important is to do that planning to be able to make sure, again, you're creating the content, you're making the creatives, and then you can deploy those things on at those times because they're all prepared in advance. And you can always pivot if you need to, but one thing that I will mention is our clients that do promotions like the Black Friday promotions, Cyber Monday promotions, and even like maybe a flash sale in October or beginning of November. That gives you a more just a wider reach. So and again, you can do a little bit more marketing during the holidays and more promoting. And so but when you do that, you're going to get a more visibility and you're going to get a bigger audience for when they are ready to make a purchase for the holidays. So I do recommend doing some promos, doing in-store events, doing as much as you can to be out there in Q4. So when they're, ready, or when they're thinking about buying jewelry, they know that they're going to go to you because they keep seeing you pop up. So some case studies, for example, one client that we took over their Google Ads, they had a 3,500 ROAS increase year over year from Q4 2023 compared to 2022. Conversions also increased significantly year over year. And then clicks and conversion rate up significantly. So that's what happens when you do ads properly. Like I was mentioning is, you want to set up the right types of campaigns, and a couple other, things that you want to make sure is when you're doing search campaigns, always have a landing page you're sending those search campaigns to that have the best, that way you get the best quality score because you want to have a relevant page according to what people are searching for. So we follow all these best practices. This is an example of a jeweler that increased 104% year over year on year 2 of having a Shopify store. So that's Q4 sales in 2023. This one, their sales are a bit more. They did Q4 953,000. They're up 103% year over year increase. So that's, when you're doing all of these things properly, and you're, again, these jewelers on Shopify, that's where these screenshots are coming from. And you have that marketing calendar, you're doing Google ads, you're doing meta ads, you're doing, SEO properly, you're typically going to get better results. So a couple key takeaways and strategies. Important to set up a marketing automation funnel to ensure online success. Obviously, early planning, personalization, and multi-channel integration are key to a successful Q4 strategy. And then companies that focus on mobile optimization saw a 15% higher conversion rate. So definitely really important. Um, some common pitfalls to avoid: not utilizing marketing automation with shopping campaigns is really the biggest missed opportunity we typically see for jewelers. Not optimizing for mobile can lead to a loss of 30% of potential sales. And then overloading customers with too many promotions can result in a higher unsubscribe rate and lower engagement. However, I always, you got to have a healthy balance, but increase your promotions probably by like 30% at least, because again, that's when people are a little bit more forgiving, because they're looking for, and everyone knows that, promotions increase during the holidays. So you get less unsubscribes typically. Feel free to type in any questions in the Q&A. I'm also going to put up my email address here, anthony@gemfind.com. Now I went through a lot of information really quickly, but feel free to type in any questions now. And if you like, you can always email me too. You can email me questions, or if you like a copy of the slides or recording the webinar, just email me, anthony@gemfind.com.